Good morning, Miss Bahar. All right, good morning, Daniel. All right, so we are on day one, Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Uh, see, good morning, Claudette. Good morning, Treasure. Eric, Joyce, David and Michelle, good morning. Femi Gorski, good morning. All right, so here we go. Ecclesiastes 1, day 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit has a man from all his labor in which he toils under the sun? One generation passes away and another generation comes. But the earth abides forever. The sun also rises and the sun goes down and hastens to the place where it arose. The wind goes toward the south and turns around to the north. The wind whirls about continually and comes again on its circuit. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. To the place from which the rivers come, there they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot express it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. That which has been is what will be. That which is done is what will be done. And there is nothing new under the sun. Is there anything of which it may be said, see, this is new? It has already been in ancient times before. There is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of things that are to come by those who will come after. I, the preacher, was king over Israel and Jerusalem, and I set my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all that is done under heaven. This burdensome task Elohim has given to the sons of man by which they may be exercised. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and indeed all is vanity and grasping for the wind. What is crooked cannot be made straight, and what is lacking cannot be numbered. I communed with my heart, saying, look, I have obtained greatness, and have gained more wisdom than all who were before me in Jerusalem. My heart has understood great wisdom and knowledge, and I set my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is grasping for the wind, for in much wisdom is much grief, and he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. You know, when you look at this, just this first chapter, starting this off with King Solomon, he's realizing how vain everything is, and warning us of the vanities that we toil and seek after. Now, one thing I think that we have to have understanding of is, I think my wife shared this on something on Torah Talk Time last Friday night when her and I did it. Solomon sought a lot of wisdom of everything, of all the ways of the world. He sought to understand that wisdom of the world, and I think this is why he says what this says here, this last verse, for in much wisdom is much grief, and he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. Because there's no way that the wisdom of Yehovah ever brings grief. but it brings joy, it brings strength, it brings conviction, it brings the overwhelming sense of absolute expectation and what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence in our walk with Him. The wisdom of Yehovah, Dayah, that is the wisdom that we seek. That is not the wisdom that Solomon is talking about here. Because, I mean, he says it. He says he sought the wisdom of all things. You know, and he even says, I set my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. So he wanted to understand all the ways of the world and everything else. And it cost him greatly because he did everything that Yehovah said not to do. And he married 700 pagan women and 300 concubines and all the stuff that he did that Yehovah said, do not go to, do not come near. And then in he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. And that is so true, because the more knowledge that we understand of the wickedness of this world and the vanities of this world and the sin of this world and everything else, that the more knowledge that we increase in, the greater the sorrow. I mean, look at what's going on, just a few days ago with New York and their passing of the abortion bill that they passed for up to a minute before the baby is born. If a baby, I mean, there's a meme going around, and there's actually been some stuff going around that child, if it was born at 12:05, it can be aborted at 12:04, right before that child's going to come out. And the sickness of it, there's not even words to describe. That is the sorrow of it. And that's exactly what this is. And he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. The greater that we understand all of these things in the world, our sorrow shall increase. I can only imagine what it must have been like for the disciples as they traveled around the world, or around just all over the Middle East, for the prophets and stuff, when they would tell Israel again and again of their perversity and the things that they were allowing themselves to participate in. Allowing themselves to participate in. Jeremiah, it talks about that he was depressed because all he ever was able to do was prophesy judgment and destruction because Israel's sin. And even as Israel then even came to the point where they told Jeremiah, we don't want to hear what Yah has told you to tell us, but we want you to lie to us and tell us that everything is going to be good. That's the way man is today in this world. Man doesn't want to believe in the destruction that's coming. Nobody wants to believe in any of these things. They want to be told that everything's going to be prosperous. They want to be told that everything is going to be as it was yesterday. And let us drink and be merry, for today is the same as yesterday, and tomorrow will be the same as today, and all of these things. This is what the world wants. And what is sad is so many who claim to be of the body are doing the same thing. I see people posting stuff, declaring that we need to pray that these things are not fulfilled in these last days. And it's like, you don't even understand what you're praying against. You're praying against the end time prophecy fulfillments from coming to place. And by doing that, you're praying against Yeshua's return. And granted, Mishpachah, I don't want it's going to be a horrifying thing to see the kind of destruction that's going to come upon this earth, and the things that are going to be fulfilled that Scripture talks about. But I tell you this, if that is what will usher in Yeshua's return quicker, then I pray that it happens quick. My prayer is that this stuff gets going. Let's go. Let's get through this. Let's get it done so our Messiah can come and relieve us of the horrifying wickedness that is ever growing in this world. Let it come quickly and let us be delivered. But in the same breath, Father, use us and let us be a source in this world by you that will fight to the last breath to help others receive the truth, to be saved, to be delivered from sin. Because as we're seeing the wickedness rise up more, the vanity of vanities, that is, oh my goodness, the vanity out there is just unreal. The way everybody is so absorbed with themselves, it's all about me, me, me. It's all about how I look. And I mean, I've seen a couple of the video tutorials of the kind of stuff that girls do today, from teenagers on up, the little tapes and pieces that they put on their face, but it'll show them in reverse. It'll show them taking all this stuff off, and all these little pieces and stuff they're taking off after they take off the pound of makeup that they've got on, and they take all this stuff off, and the person that's under there doesn't look anything like the person that had the makeup on. And this is what people are doing, because the vanity of a certain look, a certain way, and everything that has to be. The selfies out the wazoo, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous how many people are taking them selfies and constantly posting them all the time. And okay, fine, the world does it. That's to be expected. But when I see men and women who claim to be of Yah, and they've got a different picture of themselves posted every day or 2 or 3 times a day and stuff like that. I mean, this is the stuff, they're all caught up in the self presentations and look at me kind of thing. And Mishpahah, this is all what Solomon's talking about in this chapter. The vanities, the knowledge, the wisdom of the world that brings distress and is for nothing and brings sorrow. These are it's the wrong wisdom, it's the wrong knowledge being sought after, when they should be seeking after Dayah, the wisdom of Yehovah, Sekel, to have discernment and everything of how to use that wisdom. This is what we're supposed to be doing, Mishpahah. This is what we are called to do. We need to break away from all of that stuff in every way, shape, and form. So it's going to be exciting to go through this. There's only 12 chapters in Ecclesiastes, so it's going to go by quickly. And then what we'll probably do is so I'm probably Ecclesiastes, I'm going to back up after Ecclesiastes, because Psalm, Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes, they all pretty much go together. So that's why I read them that way. When I get done with Ecclesiastes, I'm going to back up to Ezra. Go Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job. And then I don't know if I'm going to do Song of Solomon yet or not. But then we're going to jump into Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentation, Ezekiel, Daniel, and just read it on down until we hit Matthew. So that's the plan, unless Yah tells me different. So, but after we get through all of that, then I'll probably go back up and which won't be till sometime this summer, but go back to the beginning, go through the Torah, and then Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st, 2nd Samuel, 1st, 2nd Kings, 1st, 2nd Chronicles, and read those. And then after that, go through the Brit Hadashah. So, see, it's one chapter a day, so it ends up being, I think it's like 3 years takes to go through all of it. So, yeah, just under 3 years, something like that. So that is the plan. Yah willing, of course. So, Mishpachah, I pray, may you all be blessed today. May Yah really be with you. And Mishpachah, please be in the mindset of Hazarah B'Teshuvah. Return in repentance. It is so important that we constantly are in this mindset to come back to the Father in every way that He intended, to put away the things of the flesh, everything, Mishpachah. Whatever your weakness is in the flesh, put it away. Get rid of it. Do not allow it to be a vanity of vanities in your life. Do not allow it to be what will cause you grief and sorrow. Do not allow it to be a hindrance and a stumbling block and a tripping stone for you. But put it away. Get rid of it. Submit it and surrender it to Yehovah. And give Him your all. It's time to fight to grow closer to Him more and more. It's time to fight harder and harder to be that spotless and blemish-free bride to be. Mishpachah, seek His face with all your heart, because there is no vanity. There is no sorrow and no grief. There is strength, joy, confidence, assurance, expectation. There is emet and simcha and tikva and ahava. So Mishpachah, as always, go and read this. Ask Yah to give you what He would have you to get from it. Be filled with it. And grow stronger, and ask Yah to get you ready for the days to come, to get you prepared so that you will be fearless, because the stronger we are in Him, the less the enemy can make us afraid. So do that, Mishpachah, and may your day of preparation be blessed, and may all that you say and do bring honor and glory to His name and not profane His name. And Yah willing, we are having Torah Talk time tonight. We're back on normal schedule because we don't have no massive snowstorms coming through. So we will see everybody tonight on Torah Talk time. I love you all, Mishpachah, but most of all, Yah loves you. Shalom, shalom.